Okay, so we're recording. Hey everybody, welcome back to the second episode. We came up with a name. Jay, what do we call ourselves?
Drunken Dungeons.
Drunken Dungeons. Yeah, Drunken Dungeons. After, I don't know how long I think up.
Lots of beer.
Yeah, so let's just remind I was going to clap my hands right in front of the microphone. Let's remind everyone what we're doing. We're drinking beer. Drinking craft beer and reviewing A Paladin in Hell. So every episode we're going to drink some beer, get drunk, and review a second edition adventures for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I think we'll dip into some of the classics.
We've already played.
Yeah. If we can remember them all, we've played so many of them. It's going to be hard to find them. It's going to be hard to get the names of them because the games that we have played, we don't know the names of them because it's not like the DM goes, okay guys, tonight we're going to play Revenge of the Giants. No, that's not happened once. We never played Revenge of the Giants anyway. Yeah, so it's not like the DM is going to tell you the name of the adventures that you're playing. Like, it's a giveaway. You know, I mean, we've ended up playing Ravenloft, Spelljammer, Dark Sun, I was going to say Al-Qaeda, but that's not a setting. Mystara, Red Steel. I don't know, name another setting. We played adventures from every single one. Definitely Load of Greyhawk, because our DM was a fucking major Greyhawk fan. Yeah.
Yeah, he did geekgasm over that a bit.
He did, yeah. Too much. But yeah, I mean, I've lost the point of what I was getting to, but yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Allow me to introduce my first beer tonight. So this is the collaboration between Bullhouse Brewing Company and Northern Monk. It's called Hallion Battallion.
Hallion Battallion.
If you look at the can there.
Oh, okay. All right. Jesus,
Now,
that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's good can art, I have to say. I did have a little bit of a look into these guys, and they have another little sort of their symbol there is actually pretty cool as well. I'll see if I can get it in there for you.
Cool. Where are they
So
based
instead
out
of a brain, it's just made up of hops. You can see it.
I like this kind of inventive artwork where they're like putting hops
Yeah.
all over the place.
No, I'm down with it. So I did a little bit of looking into Bullhouse Brewing Company, and they actually got their name. The dude who started it up, he was working on a farm just outside Belfast. Well, his family owns the farm. Willie was his name. Willie Mean, I think. Mayne. And he was on a road trip in America, hit a couple of beers over there, went into a brewery, fell in love with the styles, came back to Ireland, was working on the farm and started doing a bit of home brewing. And then he made a little commercial brewery, and it only cost him like £600 at the time, back in 2011. He was using an industrial fridge as a mash tun, which I think is pretty cool. So that's how he started off. There he is now doing a collaboration with Northern Monk. I've had a couple of the beers and I'm really enjoying them.
Cool.
So this is their take on an American pale ale. As you can see, it's pretty standard to the classic, dark and dank, nice and piney. Oh. And at only 5%.
Yeah. Oh, that's not too bad. 5%.
You could gulp that easily.
I'm drinking a mango DDH sour IPA. Where's my camera? Sour. I'm almost certain I've drank this before, and the mango doesn't allow it to get too sour. That could be just a dream I had either, though.
Look, I reckon that's a dream, man. You mentioned the word sour. I know.
I know. Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not.
Have a good night, folks.
I only drink a sour when it's extremely hot out, and I'm just like, give me something different. But yeah, the mango, Gissona. It's from. I've seen the cans. I don't think I've bought their stuff. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I bought their stuff. Right, I'll just open this up now. It's gonna be nice. No, it wasn't. Maybe it's because
It's a sour.
Yeah. Oh, it's got that. Can you hear it?
I taste horrible. That's all I'm hearing.
Alright, I gotta pour a full can of this out. This isn't too bad. This is not as strong as the 13% now I had last week. This is only 6.
Learned your lesson.
Yeah, it smells sour and mango-y. I never judge a sour on the first taste, but I can tell you, it's not as sour as some of the other ones I've had. Like, it's not as bitter. Like, a black hole hasn't formed in my mouth yet. I haven't sucked myself into
Give
myself.
it time.
Yeah.
Your lower chin will be up and around your
Yeah.
nostrils.
I'll just be inverted mouth. No, Jay, this is good. I don't know. It's losing this. Yeah, it's good. It's more of an IPA. Really, there's a little hint of sourness in on it, but it's not like the usual stuff. This is, I would like to say, probably losing the color actually on the camera. This is actually in the orange range of like Fanta, and it's going to go down like a nice cold glass of Fanta.
The only time I'd run out of open a can of sour beer is if I ran out of washing up liquid and I wanted the place to smell lemony. I just pour it down the drink.
Would you not just drink it and just fart lemons? That's my plan later. I'm going to just smell. How's it going to smell of mango? Yeah, that's me mango candles. Don't worry. Let's get into this adventure then. Flick me book here. So we left it off a Stygia last time, as far as I can remember. Going down in the
bubble.
The bubbles.
Big metal bubble.
Yeah, the big metal bubbles that come out of the ship. And I think it took us a while kind of to get down here. And, you know, as I was saying on the last one, there was giant megalodons or something fucking swimming around the place, threatening to eat us. And then we came down in underneath the iceberg, and I think we went around for a bit. We found a doorway in, and went through a cave system, and then found ourselves at like a giant steel door. And this is kind of like
the citadel.
The citadel, yeah. So this is Coldsteel itself. Like, I don't know. Like, from what I can remember of actually trying to get into this place, it took us. I won't say it took us forever, but it did take us a bit of time, like, because
it took us a while. Yeah,
the doors were shut. We were still inside this fucking ball, inside Stygia. Inside the River Styx, so we couldn't get out, or we'd lose our memory. But we didn't. It did end up managing to get into the place. And I don't think it was through the main door here. As far as I can remember, it was through a secret door.
Yeah.
That was up further.
Yeah, there is a secret passage in there, I believe.
There is, yeah.
I'm not sure on which part it is on the map, though. Because I came in after this part. I came in after this.
Yeah, I think we were... Could have been
there's like two entrances. Yeah. So you have one that goes straight in and you're onto that level, and then you have another one that goes down like sort of squiggly, and then you're into a tunnel, the shaft that goes down. And if you keep going down, you get into the temple and not that way. And then there's another passage coming in from somewhere else. But I think you went down the shaft and in.
No, I think the passageway that we went in was on this actual level. Like, there's one off to the side. It's not that far away from this one. Actually, no, cut that. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was through the front entrance, because I
think it was because
there's no like airlock.
No, when I joined it was just entering number 4, the room number 4. That's where we met the Gurdenask, the demon with the green armor.
The what?
Gurdenask, the dude with the green armor, the metal armor.
Oh, I don't remember these guys by name, JT.
Yeah, I remember him because he had the spear, and I think it was my first session witchy playing the witch, and I nearly died. As in, like, I think it was a case of like the better part of valor, and I just ran away. Like, it was Killian from the old games that we used to play, like the old Baldur's Gate games. Better part of valor, and just leg it off like.
Here. But the first level of this, it's interesting kind of getting into the place. How do you find yourself getting in here? Through this big steel door with the symbols of Geryon, the kind of the Duke who's looking after this place. He's like this big huge snake demon. And just then like the little smaller encounters with some other demons as you move along in this place. So the inside of this complex of the first level is basically, it's all ice like everything else that's outside. It's got walkways up above it, I think 20 feet up off the ground or thereabouts. And then there's there's demons walking around on this, kind of like this walkway that goes above and interconnects every room. Like, so your characters can use this to easily get around as well and get the drop on demons. Once you figure out what's up there. you know, on the benefits of like not having to open a door. I don't think we spent any time really up on these walkways at all. I think we just done the classic, let's
No.
kick in the door, see see what's in there, and fucking and batter it.
And run away when we find out what's in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think when you're up on that walkway, from what I can remember, the random encounters, because you're looking down into the rooms, your chance was increased, I think, wasn't it? Because they could see you up on the walkway. So like there was a little bit of like, keep off the walkway.
Yeah, I don't know. As again, I can't really remember us being up on it. You know, I mean, maybe we did use it for a little bit, but then we kind of went.
I think we did, but the encounters we were getting was like, okay, look, we're at not getting up here. Let's go down and kick doors.
Yeah,
and I think that's how we ended up going the way we went. It was just like random encounter. Like. So I think we just decided, you know what, we're better off to clear it out from below, clean up the rooms, and then see what happens.
And then move along in onto it. But as you said, like you remember fighting this guy. What was his name? Gardensk, no?
Gurdansk. Gurdansk.
Yeah.
Gurdansk. Yeah, he had that spear he had was pretty cool, and I don't think I ever got to actually use it in the game. Somebody else grabbed it off him. But on the same level, well, no, he was a witch. He was just greedy and he wanted magical items.
I remember
simple as it. That's what his bag of holding was for. I think I just anything that was magical went into that. Didn't care what it was. But on the same level, level 1, yeah, I got the cloak I wore for most of the adventure. The +4 cloak protection was on this level, and that I think that saved me so many times.
Yeah. I mean, cloak and protections work a lot better in 2nd edition than in in 5th. You know, it goes towards armor, it goes towards all your saving throws.
Gurdansk had the Spear of the Guardian, is what it was. It was a +4. Yes, it was a nasty weapon from what I can remember, because I know I got hit with it, and I was like, what was the damage on it? So his attacks were 3 and 4, and damage was 1d4, 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 +1, 1d3 claw by 1d6 plus 10, 1d6 plus 6, 1d3 in strength bonus.
Yeah,
and I think.
And this guy has a -12 armor class. He's in the front door. You meet him as you come in. He's the first. Yeah, you meet this guy as you come into the place.
But he had that magical blue armor on him, and it was just absorbing magical missiles and everything else. I remember that encounter. It was, as I said, it was the first encounter I played with Chi, and it was literally I just ran away and hid behind the door and just tried to pick him off with magic missiles and stuff, and they were just bouncing off him.
Oh, he's a brooch of shield now, that's why.
Yeah. I think the armor done a lot as well.
Yeah, but no, just he had a brooch of shielding, so your magic missiles were.
Yeah, nothing. I couldn't do a thing. Like I couldn't do anything to him.
Plus,
I was like,
the demons down here have 50% magic resistance.
Yeah, so this is what this adventure is going to be like for my little character. He's just going to hide behind walls.
I was doing the same. I was running a thief. I was like, there's no way. Yeah, but obviously we ended up taking out that guy because we finished this adventure. So
yeah. Well, I think the cleric had a big hand in that at the time. I think the cleric done an awful lot of damage there, like to him. He in fairness, I think the cleric had popped up maybe 4 or 5 times in this adventure where he was a little bit of a shining hero.
Yeah, I think
there was a room later on where he got locked in, and the player who was running the cleric rolled 2 critical hits, one after the other.
We should just get to that. We should just go straight to that because, I mean, there's only little encounters the whole way through kind of this until you get to that room. So the encounter you're on about actually is from a guy called Amon. He's a disposed Duke of Hell, so he's pretty powerful. And he has a head of a wolf, and he also has a pack of, is it winter wolves he has with him?
Yeah.
He also has a pack of winter wolves with him in this room. So if you got a map of this, the candles. Yeah, so he's in room 12 basically. But this guy hears you when you come into the place, so he knows you're in here. As soon as a fight breaks out, he knows you're in this place. His senses are so keen. So he's pretty much waiting for you. Well, he's been sitting in his room kind of waiting for the battles to go on downstairs. So yeah, he's just sitting in there waiting for you. That's one of the tropes, or one of the things that people think Dungeons and Dragons had, is where that enemy's just sitting in a room waiting for you.
Yeah.
You know, when it isn't. Like, a lot of the adventures will give you a percentage of where the person might be, you know, so they're not necessarily going to be where it says they are. There's always a percentage. Plus then, I mean, as it says, like, this guy hears you, so what's he going to do? Like, I don't know if I'd necessarily put this guy or leave this guy in the room. I might try and find something else to do with him, other than him just, like, standing in his room. Because we fought him in his room, like, we fought this guy in his room. Yeah, I mean, like, we killed all his wolves, and as you said, if you want to continue on the story, because you probably remember it a bit more vividly than I do.
Yeah,
But I
so
remember...
I think we concentrated down on the vegetables before we got to the meat, like, so we finished off all the wolves, and while we were concentrating down on them, this Duke of Hell had decided, oh, you know, there's a cleric, let's go over and see what we can do to him. And I think at the time our paladin had gotten a couple of slaps off him, and
Yeah.
I think he was hitting pretty hard. So the paladin was sort of more or less fallen. My character was doing what he done and was hiding behind the door after he had fired off a couple of spells. And
I think I was melting stuff out of the wall.
Up steps the cleric and goes toe to toe with this Duke. No, I don't think the cleric wanted to go toe to toe with the cleric, but he did. And all of a sudden, he rolled 2 natural 20s and I think absolutely decimated him.
Yeah, we had escaped from the room at this point before those 220s were rolled.
Yeah, we had gone. Well, I had legged it anyway, and the door was closed, and just left them in there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, how did the doors lock though? Because the doors shut.
I think we just went with the Duke, like being like he either used telekinesis or something like that to close it. We never really asked the DM.
No, but we couldn't get the doors open, like.
Open, no. Because we did try, like, after a round, we did try to get back into him. And then the doors open up and the cleric walks out with this massive mace dragging behind him.
Oh yeah, he did. He took his mace.
Which was the Duke's mace that he couldn't even swing, like. And he just left it there and asked if anybody wanted it and walked off. And literally the characters looked inside the room and the Duke was in bits. And then he told us what happened, that he rolled 2 natural 20s.
Yeah.
And at the time when the system we used for the 20s, the DM had used the damage.
Yeah, because we'd gone off the classic. Some of the charts that we used to use was like chop off body parts. You know, heads used to go missing, kind of off the old.
And damage by 3 and damage by 4, and the cleric had rolled maximum damage and had damage by 4, I think, and the Duke had already taken a good bit of damage from the paladin. But I think the paladin was more or less gone out of the fight. He ran out of the room, like.
Everyone's left. The cleric was locked in the room by himself. We couldn't get him.
And the cleric just walks out after only 2 nat 20s and 2 top damage and 2 by 4s and just decimates this.
Well, he was in there he was in there for at least 6 rounds, by himself, like fighting him. And he was healing up as he was hitting him. So the first couple of hits that he hit him, like, you know, Amon was just healing.
I think they were just negating the damage he was doing at that stage. Like, he wasn't healing past what he was at. Like,
he was actually healing more than what was being damaged. Taken. Yeah. As far as I can remember, because I remember the DM kind of just laughing at us, going, "Look, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do unless you roll a 20." And then it just went bam, bam,
bam, bam, and that was the end of it.
1, 2.
Absolute hero moment.
He fucking uniflued him. It was probably the best escape I've ever seen in my life. I've ever been witness to. And we pretty much went into that room straight away. Like, if you're looking at the map, it's basically a straight line down into this place.
We were fresh, we were fresh. Fresh enough.
Yeah.
We healed up after the fight with the big dude in room 4.
Yeah.
We were pretty battered after that one. I know my tune was, and I think that the paladin needed a good bit of healing as well.
I think I was pretty straight in. I was definitely okay. I don't think there was anything wrong with my character.
No, No, as I said, I think that was the first encounter I had with a high level character. Like, so I just went all gun ho and ended up suffering really badly. That's when I learned it's best to hide behind solid objects.
Your paladin and cleric.
Yeah, or a wall, or a door, or anything where nobody can see you.
Yeah, so we finished up that. There wasn't much else, Jay, was there, then in this place? We kind of ran through everything pretty quickly.
The other thing was I think the consort was in there, but that was a relatively easy fight.
Yeah.
I don't think she even got to fly. We just mashed it. And
Yeah.
then the rest of it after taking down the Duke, everything else was like were relatively easy.
Yeah, it's not really one of the encounters that I remember at all, so it must have been pretty quick, because, as I was saying to you before, like, I remember the gas chamber and all that in this place. Like, reading this, reading this the little bit in the room, like, it's pretty cool. You know, it's a good description. It's kind of like a little bit twisted in a sense, but I don't, like, if I don't remember it, it didn't stick out, or we just didn't appreciate it. We just walked in, went, as you said, bang, 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 and walked back out again, you know?
Yeah. It was. I think somebody had thrown the spear we got from room 4. Somebody had launched that at her, and then I think the fighter made up ground before they even got off to fly.
Yeah.
And he just laced into her, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Very low hit points. AC was relatively low compared to everything else we were fighting.
Yeah, well, the guy that we came into first is minus fucking 12, like.
Yeah, no, I think they were
crazy.
only like AC -1 or AC 0 or something like. The hit points were like, it could have been like 59, 60. And that was the end of it. It was over in like one round, I think.
I know.
That was the end of it.
She's got like minus 10 armor class. Minus 1 without her armor on, and minus 10 with her armor on.
But like, even at that, with the level we were at, minus 10, and the fighter was running around with a girdle of giant strength, he just mashed up everything. Like,
for the people who haven't played 2nd edition, armor class minus 10 is meant to be the best you can get. Okay, it works reverse to 5th edition. But a taco on a fighter of, let's say, 16th level, 17th level is 3, hits armor class 0. So you're rolling a 7 on your dice to hit this. And then you have, as you said, a girdle of giant strength. What's that? Plus 4
and then you
to
had
hit.
weapon specialization.
Weapon specialization, pluses of your weapon. So you're hitting that on a 2. Maybe
less, I'd say.
Well, if you roll a 1,
well,
it's a fumble.
he fumbles on a 1. Yeah, but he was like literally just straight in, end off. Yeah. And I think his minimum damage was like 14 or 15.
Yeah, so like three attacks, half dead, and whatever our shitty character's done, she wouldn't have lasted long. As I said, I don't remember that fight at all.
And I think that was it for that level. Everything else was like,
I mean, there's one or two other things.
There was a good bit of treasure and things like that. Like, but I think when you're at that sort of a level, like, treasure is treasure. It's what you play.
I mean, like, look, when you get a +2 weapon and you already have a +4 and a +5 and a few +3s, it's not. It's like.
I know. My witch took everything. It was into a bag of holding, and off I went, all happy with myself. She didn't leave anything behind. If characters weren't taking it, she was taking it.
Oh well, I know I was sneaking around robbing stuff when I should have been killing people.
That's allowed. You're a thief. That's what you're meant to do.
Sneaky drow, sneaky drow. But we found ourselves then after a while. We definitely healed up anyway after Armon, and then went into this one, and because the secret entrance.
And we were fresh enough going into Armon as well, like, so we still had a lot of spells.
We were,
To this part, after dealing with her, we were expecting something a little bit more vicious.
I think after dealing with the first guy and the Mon, that those two, like, they're the big main guys here on this level.
We were very lucky with
the way
we approached it. Like,
you're on.
Well, we didn't really approach it. It was just dumb luck who we ran into and when, like, you know, because I think, like, at the time when we were playing these games, I think the DM was the only person who had a copy of this adventure. Like, now we can all go on the internet and just, you know, get a PDF copy or see it online or anything else. Back in the day, you couldn't really do that. It was all like pen and paper.
I really just enjoyed not even trying to find the adventures that the DM had. Yeah, and just playing.
But as you said, like, we knew what this one was. But most of the
because
other
we
ones,
actually
like,
asked him.
You had no idea, like, you know.
And we asked, like, as soon as the DM told us, "Hey guys, I got that adventure from that picture I was looking at in the player's handbook or DMG or whatever it was in," I started like, We're playing that. Oh, you're not 20. We'll make up characters. We're playing that. We're playing
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So like this is one of the in my opinion is one of the best adventures I played for just pure enjoyment, the pure wanting to
Yeah.
play it, like, you know, and then the anticipation of doing it.
We're
I'm
dying
not
around
saying
the
it's
next corner.
yeah, not saying it's the best adventure, but
Nah,
it's a
it's,
pretty
it's
good
not
one.
too much
Like,
horrors, like, but
yeah,
it's yeah.
yeah. But anyway, after all that bullshit, we went down onto level 2. Yeah, I think this is where I lost some enthusiasm coming down into this place.
I found level 2 an absolute grind around
Yeah,
every bend and corner. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't the fact that you were meeting really hard creatures in every room. It's just sometimes there was just so many that were just gating in other demons and things like that. Like it really,
yeah,
really,
yeah. This is where the
you
grind got
know,
on. The
yeah.
gating and the
This is where
gating.
the like after, like, as I said, I wasn't with you for the ship, but the ship was a grind. Then you come through, you had to struggle with the door. We ran through the first level. Now we did clear out the first level; it was empty, like, and then all of a sudden you hit the second level, and it's just an absolute grind, and it's a short grind.
It's still a grind. Like there's a bunch of elephants, which again I only
Yeah,
saw a fucking picture of. I never fought before till we got down here, and then when we started fighting them, was like, fuck my life, because these giant elephant fucking demons are absolute fucking walking fucking fuckers. I mean, especially these guys were. These guys were with the items they had. Like they were like, oh, I hate it.
the good thing is, like, anybody who wanted to get water from the river Styx here, this you could get it on level 2.
Oh
And for
yeah, they
anybody
were
who
in
plays
like
second
fucking
edition,
super soaker fucking
yeah.
pump gun things, weren't they?
And
Yeah.
we were freaking filling up jars and everything else and bringing it back, because if you want to remove, like there's certain legendary items and everything else that you
You
can only
need
destroy
water
with
from
water
it,
from the river
yeah.
Styx. So it's quite valuable. Like,
I just thought of that now. Like, I mean, it probably is the most valuable thing down here, with no price.
I know my witch character. She brought back quite a bit. Like,
I
well,
never even
when I say
thought
quite
about
a
it.
bit, relatively it was nothing. But
Yeah,
it was a case of, like, while I'm down here, I want to get as much of this as I can. Like, and it was such an easy to get it as well after you've gone through everything. It's just there in the well.
yeah, yeah. And they have the super soaker things. I remember super soaker things just lying there beside it, like, and you're
Yeah,
like, what the
because,
fuck
like,
are these things? Oh, don't start shooting around, being all sexy with your water gun, squirting each other's fucking
memory loss.
boob
Thank you very
plates.
much.
Yeah, again, the Melephants is kind of like pretty much, and the water guns are kind of the two things that I
The
remember from
brown
down in this
mold.
place.
My goodness, it was just a consistent brown mold.
Oh, now I remember guys with sticks flicking fucking brown mold at us, like fucking snot on the end
Yeah.
of someone's finger. Like, take some brown mold. That is this adventure, isn't it?
So my next beer for the night is a Black Forest
I'll pull it
Gateau.
up a bit higher. I like to say, Jay, I have a love-hate relationship with Black Forest Gateau.
Anything except sour beer with cherry, and I'm okay with it. So this is Black Forest Gateau by Vacation Brewery. I believe they actually started from an old chicken shed and a dog kennel or something like that. And
They
now
were
they're
brewing beer in a dog
over
kennel.
100 employees and doing really well.
Sweet.
I do like
Good
their
on them.
pale ales and their IPAs, but I seen this in the shop and I just had to try it. Slow pour.
Oh, that looks
You're
nice,
not going
Jay.
to get much of a head or fizz out of this, as it is tipping up to, I think it's 10.5%.
Ooh.
Man, that's thick coming out of that.
Tick like a dwarf.
Yeah, that's what you want. I love that. I do like the head on that,
Yeah, that looks nice.
nice and dark.
Go on, Jay. I'm drooling here looking at it. I can taste. I can.
A little bit of sour coming from the cherries, a little bit of sweetness.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm hoping to use chocolate malt and not to balance that out. Done a really good job on it. Even the bottom of the can is feeling heavy, so there's a lot of sediment in there. Overall, nice beer. It's a sippy beer. It's definitely not a gulpy beer. So we'll be taking our time with that boy.
I am drinking Black Flag Stout by Pyrene Brewing Company here in Spain. What part of Spain are they in? I better get this right because It doesn't tell me. Or maybe I just can't read Spanish. So yeah, the thing looks pretty cool. I think it's only 5%, so it's quite light for me actually. So I can.
Be a nice light stout.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is just basically going to cut the sour flavor off my tongue now, or help get rid of it for my next beer.
Just park a ship on it, you'll be fine.
So this is the same. This is pouring the exact same now way yours is. No head on it. Didn't even fizz.
Well, you don't want to take too much carbonation out of a stout. You'd be left with nothing.
I'll be sipping on this. There's no carbonation in this. There's nothing. She's a bit flat.
Well, that's what you want. You'd want to like. I don't like stouts that are over carbonated from a can.
It smells nice and light. A little bit chocolatey, a bit malt in it. You know, a bit of oaty kind of. Yeah, that's some kind of light. Kind of get the oaty, milky taste out of it now. Not what I'm used to. Well, you know, I don't usually drink stouts this light, like.
But it's the time of year, Ian.
It is the time of year. Yeah. But 5% is not my time of year.
No. You're missing a digit from
I'm
that.
missing a digit. There's not a 1. There needs to be a 1 in front of this for me. Because I love my really strong beers. But yeah, no, I'd happily have 2 or 3 of these. No bother from that taste alone. Like, but I'll tell you about halfway through it if I'd have another one. Do you know? I mean, it's okay to say you'd have 2 or 3 at the start of it, like, but when it starts to warm up a bit and you're like, what's it like then? You know? But yeah, that's a good beer. Definitely. If there's one thing about the owners of La Cervecita, it's like they know how to pick beers. It's probably because they run festivals and competitions.
Yeah.
You know. But you're guaranteed good beers out of the place. Yeah, let's get back into this before I get too drunk. Rub my hands together now. My memories from this place, okay, is one was the Malefants, okay? Definitely remember fighting those guys. The demons being gated in from the encounters that we had down here, just the extra demons. And demons roaming around the place. There's one thing, like, even though there's not demons listed in some of the rooms, there's random encounter charts. You know, there's always going to be something wandering around. And there was a fucking lot of stuff.
Like, it is a hostile takeover of the temple, like, so, like...
Yeah, there's guys moving.
There's always the chance. Always the chance.
Yeah. Hold on now 1 second. Is there something in this room that I'm forgetting about? In room 22. Yes. It's the apocalypse clock. Okay, I don't know. I don't remember one in the first section, but there's definitely one in this room. Because it's looking right at you. It's on the far side of the elevator, as far as I can remember. Now, these things are like, it's a clock with a skull on it, and some other skulls moving around. Your DM will describe it better for you, because I'm not fucking looking into this. It's too much. But you've got, as far as I can remember, you've got 30 turns once you enter this place to get through this place. I won't say kill everything, but that's kind of what we done. Got as much of the treasure as you can, and then get down to the temple and do everything that needs to be done in the temple before Gary and the guy who's looking after this place opens up a fucking doorway into the pits of hell and lets out like thousands and thousands of lemurs in a last ditch attempt to take over the temple, which I think is kind of a really cool idea. But like, it forces a bit of urgency on a 20th level or 16th, 17th, 18th, whatever levels we were characters to keep moving. Like, and not what we would normally do in a situation like this which would be come in, kick ass, and then find somewhere to sleep up and get spells back. And then come back in again.
Because no matter how much a high level you are, you're still going to loot. You're going to leave with every pair of shoes in the place. Like.
Yeah. So I think this is the first room that you actually see one in. And I think we just kind of looked at it and went, well, we can't figure out what it is. So if we can't figure out what it is, does it really matter? Nah. And we just left it alone. I think we could have actually fiddled about with it. I think my character could have, like, played about it a bit. To no avail.
Beat up time.
I probably actually, instead of turning it back, I'd probably put it forward. Knowing me. I have a tendency to, like, either make things worse or even worser. Even though worser is not a real word. But I manage it.
It is in D&D land.
Well, there's a few times I've gotten us out of situations without even realising we were in situations.
And then there's a few times you've gotten us into situations without realizing you got us into a situation.
True, yeah. And just made things worse.
Just made a situation how
I just made a situation I would not. Yeah. I remember I fireballed people in cities out of frustration. It's fucking, yeah, that's happening numerous times. Anyway, there were other adventures. Maybe we'll talk about them some other time. Yeah, because in the room, as you come into through the front doors, you're basically into the room with the elevator, the lift in it. That brings you down into the rest of the place. And then on the other side, the bottom side of this level, were the Malefants. And then up on the other side, then we had the water fucking guns, isn't it? And then the brown mold. But also there's
the brown mold is what I remember mostly from that.
I fucking hate brown mold. I fucking hate brown mold with a passion. It's one of my hates.
Those little guys with the snot sticks, they really messed us up a little bit on that one. But there wasn't anything major there. Like
no.
Once you got in on them, that was the end of them.
Yeah, yeah. And then even before that, just before even going into the brown mold, there's this there was a large beast kind of like sitting in the room. I remember coming in and seeing this large beast and be going, "Quick, get it!" And then we all kind of ran in and we whacked a bullet or a boulet. I don't know. How do you pronounce it?
Go with your one.
Okay, a boulette.
I'm gonna get you a little chef hat.
I call it a bullet, and anyone who doesn't call it a bullet is a fucking idiot. Now, all the idiots out there.
It's a bullet.
It's a bullet, you fucking idiot. What do you think? It shoots up out of the ground. What's a bullet? It's like a person who can't pronounce ballet properly. There's one of those in the big room, and we just jumped in and we whacked it to bits. Only round few seconds there to find out that it was like not a bullet,
no,
but a war machine that we fucking decimated. I think it could still go, but it didn't have many hit points left. We basically ruined the thing that we could have used. But actually, looking at the stats and that, it's pretty shit.
Look, when you destroy something that quickly, it's always going to be a little bit shit, especially when it's your idea to destroy it. Like,
I think it's there exactly for doing what we done to it, because we panicked so much when we opened that door and we saw it. We were just like, oh my god, these things are monstrous fucking beasts that just devour, and I thought like we are fucking screwed. But this is the machine. This is what I think the demons down here were using this to tunnel out the place. Using that to dig around here. Maybe it could have come to some use in that if we had decided, instead of using this fucking lift, we could just dig down through the floor.
Yeah. I think that, look, we could have done through the floor, but the way we went around it was just
I know, I'm just kind of going, there's probably some uses there for having this here other than what we did with it. But yeah, we played with the lift anyway after, like, we wiped out this place, then we went back playing with the levers on the lift for, fuck me, it must have been 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And the only thing that we done was lose the lift. It never returned.
I think that was our mess up.
Yeah, I don't know what we did. I don't know, maybe we broke it. And I remember then we all kind of like, we just jumped down this fucking hole. Like a couple of 100 meters down this hole. Drank some flying potions and levitation potions to kind of stop us from hitting the floor down there. But yeah, we got off on level 3 then. So only one more level after level 3 before we got into it. But level 3 now, I think I kind of enjoyed level 3.
I totally did, because I ended up getting like one of the weapon that I sort of carried around for the entire adventure. It was the Medusa sword.
The Medusa sword.
The 2-handed sword with the little straight edges, like. It was a +4 2-handed sword, like that. Literally, I carried around with me everywhere.
Was on the Medusa.
Yeah.
So there are a bunch of creatures that aren't demons down here.
Yeah.
Who are like a little mini council of sorts, aren't they, as far as I can remember? They're just sitting in a room having their own evil... It's like a little supervillain meeting hall or something.
It's like if you ever watched The Boys, the 7 have their little meeting room. It's the same with these guys, like,
Yeah. And they were just in their little meeting room. I remember we done this. Because... Okay, so off the top of my head, there's the Medusa in there. There's a Yankee in there. There's an Iliad in there. And there's a Beholder in there. Yeah, am I right? Did I get them all? I'm not missing any.
So there's a Beholder. Yeah. You got that. The Medusa. Mind Flare.
Yeah.
And an Ernest.
Ernest? Oh, there's not... Oh, no. The Yankees are back on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause this. What's a fucking Enya? An Enyas.
No idea.
I'm not going to pause this. What's an Enyas? I have no idea. Someone out there, tell us what an Enyas is. I'm not going to remember to look it up after this. But I've been reading like the monsters going, what the fuck is an Enyas? Now, I know if I see a picture, I'm going to remember what it is. But yeah.
It's a demon with wings.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
it's not that exciting at all.
Oh, it's almost like succubus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly
Okay.
succubus.
All right. Oh, I remember him now. I remember him from 3rd edition, actually.
But yeah, the Medusa is what I remember in here more or less because I got the sword.
Yeah. So I remember, like, we flew down into this place or floated down into it or what. I think this is the level where we ended up. We stuck the lift on it.
Yeah.
Definitely, because otherwise we would have just went straight down to the bottom one, which didn't happen. So we somehow managed. I think maybe someone stopped the lift on this level because we were fucking about in that room for ages and we couldn't get anything to fucking work. Like the lift was there.
I either think it was one of us or the DM had decided that we were stopping here. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, the controls are a bit complicated, but as you're saying there, I was looking at it going, it got sent down and we fiddled about with it and someone locked it, or as they said, the DM just went, nah, that's it, it's stuck on this level. You're coming down here. I'm sick of this. We've been playing this game for 8 months now. Would you just hurry the fuck up?
We're done with you. So I have cracked open a new beer.
This is alcoholic.
Oh, this is probably one of my favorite beers, actually. Yeah? It's from Vacation. It's their Love and Hate. It's a New England IPA.
Okay.
A little bit on the punchy side for an IPA. It's 7.2. But, my goodness.
7.2 is not. Yeah, I suppose it is, actually.
IPA?
Yeah.
That's punchy. As you can see, Jesus, it's nice.
JT. That looks
cloudy,
like...
dank.
I won't say what.
You know, urine. It's okay.
It looks like you've got a right
amazing.
fucking yeast infection.
It's called Caniston, buddy. You should try it. But this is definitely one of my favorite beers from Vacation. Yeah. It's not a sippy beer, in my opinion.
Well, it's a good mouthful beer, is it?
I would chug this.
Yeah.
No problems.
Just really sometimes a beer just needs to be chugged. Other times it needs to be caressed with your lips.
It says the lad was drinking a 5% stout.
I know, yeah, and it's taken me forever. That's the thing with stouts, though. It just reminds me... Drinking a 5% stout just reminds me of drinking 3% Guinness.
I don't think Guinness is 3%, man.
It's 3.8 or something.
I think it's 4.2.
No, can't be. Not in my mind. Look, let's not even Google it. I don't do Guinness, okay? Let's just move along here. And JT fell into a hole and was never seen again. He stepped on a rug of smothering. He opened his fridge, which was a mimic. So come on, what is it? Can of... What's the percentage? I can't see it. Hold it up there. It's 4.2. Oh, okay, alright. Alright, that's not... It's still not good, like...
Fucking amateur beerologist.
Like, look, this is what I'm going to say to you. It tastes like 3.8 to me, alright?
When I'm drinking at 50% imp.
Look, JT, you know I'm not a big drinker. I'm not going to drink 5 cans of beer. Okay, you know I don't. I like high percentage, not quantity. But you've seen me drink 13 pints of Guinness. That's how bad Guinness is, okay? If I can drink 13 pints of something, that's fucking bad.
The amount of Guinness that you drink is not a reflection of how bad Guinness is. It's just a reflection of how much of a fucking part-time alcoholic you are.
Hey, 13 Guinnesses... Do you know what? After that, I don't think I touched it for 10 years.
Yeah, probably didn't shift for a week either.
Oh, JT was... What? There's black noodles coming out of me by...
Squid ink noodles.
Squid ink noodles by all the way.
You're a vile man. A vile man.
Alright, come on, let's go adventuring. Go on, yeah, fire away there.
So I think like we were lucky enough to meet. I think it's going to depend on the person in the group that you ask. For me, we actually met him in room 29 and the fight ensued. And he was using the shield. I remember the shield very well. Because the tongue lashes.
Yeah. And plus, as you were saying, like our DM had it on the front of his screen, on the front of his DM screen for years. Like,
Yeah.
Coloured in
No, I
with
think that
colouring
was the
pencils.
picture. The picture of the shield and the sword. There's a cool picture in the actual adventure with your man
Oh
that you're
yeah, wait a
fighting.
minute. Yeah. It's a pretty cool
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, no, I remember that because then there's a mirror of life trapping in the room.
Yeah.
So there's two mirrors. A mirror of mental prowess and a mirror of life trapping.
Yeah.
And in the mirror of life trapping, he had three creatures and he released them. But it was a Dracolisk that my
That's
character got singled out on.
just remind people now what a Dracolisk is. It's like a dragon and a basilisk, isn't it?
Yeah. It
But
was a
this is
particular evil mix.
this
This one.
this guy's nastier though, isn't he? Though he's like a fucking adult black dragon with a weird
Yeah,
basilisk. Like he's
he was a mix between a black dragon and a basilisk, a greater
yeah,
basilisk.
greater
I think it
basilisk.
was
That's it. Yeah.
described in the book.
Yeah.
But he was mean. The only thing that saved me really is he had a very high tackle to the level we were at. I think he was like tackle 10. Actually, his tackle was. Give me a second. I have him here. His tackle was 11 and his AC was 2. And
Well, for a wizard now fighting that sort of creature, that's
well, I was a
fucking
witch, not a wizard.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same.
And
Not really the same.
I
But
think the only thing that saved me was the fact that it was one of the few creatures I came across with no magical resistance that I can remember.
No?
And we'll have a look at the stats. Yep.
Yeah, no magical resistance.
No
No, immunity
magical
to
resistance.
acid, and that's really
And
about it. Like,
I ended up going to toe with this Dracolisk
yeah.
while everybody else was fighting off the big dude.
Well, I was fighting a slug.
And
That's what I was fighting.
you
I
got the
remember
giant
that.
slug.
I got the giant slug. Yeah, but that's only because it was the easiest thing to fight.
You
wasn't
had the
really,
easiest thing to take on there.
though. Well, it had more hit points than anything else really in the room.
But the AC was only 8.
Is it?
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't die. Yeah, that was probably the best thing for me. I remember actually the acid spray and all that bullshit. I did. It's one.
But
yeah.
I remember literally being backed into a corner with that Dracolisk, and literally it was just a case of like, yeah, time to kiss yourself goodbye. And then I realized when I fired off a couple of magic missiles, he took damage. I was like,
Time to do some
that
more.
was the end of that. I just slammed in on him. Absolutely slammed in on him. But he did have a save versus gaze, I think it was. Was his?
Yeah, because the baskets have the turn you to stone bullshit.
So
Yeah.
it was petrified within 20 feet. Like,
Yeah.
That's what it says in the book.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to get away with that. But in the end, I ended up punching the pudding out of him. And then went over.
Bear.
Yeah, I bet the pudding over. Him. And then I went over and I gave the boys a dig out with the main guy by swinging my staff and not hitting him whatsoever. And then he died by the blunt force trauma of everybody else baiting the shit out. So yeah, I went over to give them a hand, and literally all I did was like just swing my staff. But I did get a cool weapon off of him.
Yeah.
Because I know that somebody else went to pick up the weapon and took damage from it.
Yeah, that's the axe. It's because it's an intelligent weapon. Yeah.
And then in the very next room, we met the Medusa, and I ended up taking them on.
Oh yeah,
this
is his council.
Yeah.
That's the council, all right. Yeah. Yeah, no, as I said, like it wasn't a memorable fight. Fighting the slug and the basilisk.
No.
Now that you're mentioning it, like I know there's a bunch of treasure in that room as well, and
there was a load of treasure. There was a load of platinum.
Yeah,
out of platinum, and then you had the Ring of the Wish, and that's it.
Yes, I remember actually saving throws being rolled on that for death saves. For no particular reason whatsoever. I mean, if you're wearing gloves, why are you rolling a death save with, you know?
But look, I don't mean to be bad. You're fighting demons for the last 3-4 days solid. Your gloves are going to get scruffed. There's probably
I might have a hole
there.
in them, you know, from picking your
picking your butt cheek and your nasal cavity.
Trying to poke your hemorrhoids back in from all the stress you're under.
And then all of a sudden, holding your glove, you touch a ring, and that's
God,
it.
no!
It'll save. So it is what it is. But you made the save, so that's all that mattered.
No, but I think I enjoyed the encounter with the council more than that fight.
Oh, definitely.
It was more fun. There's
Then
more stuff
again,
kind of
you're
going
going
on.
down
Like,
to, like as you said earlier on, like we walked in to the first level and everything just aligned for that fight.
yeah,
Where we met boss and boss when we were fresh, and this one we were fresh. We met him straight away. We healed up. We went into the very next room, and it was the council. But like, I think the big thing, like for me on that one, was he wasn't as hard as the grind getting to him was.
okay, so I get you. Like, what you're saying is, like, it's not like a normal sort of adventure where you're grinding going down through, you're going down through your tunnels and you're grinding constantly,
Yeah,
and then your boss is at the end of your grind. Like, you're on your
yeah,
like last couple of spells and you have
yeah. It
half your
wasn't
hit
that.
points left.
It wasn't that with this.
Yeah.
Like, it was a case where we had a chance to rest up after the big grind
Well,
and
we
getting down
weren't
to
resting up. We were just like down in fucking potions and fucking laying on hands, and like we had ass loads of healing. Because I don't think we didn't sleep at this point.
But
There
no,
was
because I
no.
didn't really cast a whole lot of spells. There wasn't really points in
No,
casting spells
there was no,
when
yeah, because like demons, when you're casting spells on demons, you're just throwing them, you're
literally throwing it away.
pissing.
So I think it was pretty cool getting down here, and I finally managed to cast off spells against that Dracolisk.
Yeah.
I was delighted with myself. The
Didn't,
only thing I didn't do was take a look around the room and just go, fuck the rest, and just cast Fireball. It's the only reason I want to play it. Like, who does not want to set off a fireball in a room that size?
look, it's it's like your number one goal when you're playing a wizard for the first time is to get to third, or to get high enough level, fifth level.
Just fireball.
Yeah, and once you have that done, then just kill the character. Just come on,
Yeah.
I'm okay to die now.
This is it. This is the pinnacle. I'm not going to get any
I
better.
don't want
especially in
wish. I don't
second
want
edition.
stone skin. I don't want any of those spells.
Because it's not like later editions where you can add and minus dice to it. Like once you hit the spell level, you got the level of the spell. You cast it at that level.
Yeah, there's no like I'm
going
gonna cast this at 4th level. I'm gonna cast it at 10th level. Yeah. Which is one of the things I'm kind of delving into with how does 5th and 3rd edition compare going back to 2nd edition, and 2nd edition is just more role playing in it. You're not reliant.
Second edition, like I'm going to be honest with you. If you were to play this game in 5th, right? And one of the main spells that got us from where we were, there was 2 spells that carried us through this entire thing.
Yeah.
One was haste, and one was stone skin.
Yeah.
And that was it. Well, the other was stone skin, I should say. So, like, if you were to look at them in the new rules compared to 2nd edition, there's absolutely no comparison. No comparison in the spells. Like I would rather play a 2nd edition just playing these high level adventures, knowing you're up against it, knowing you're going to be battling for hours and hours, and you have a stone skin and haste.
Yeah.
Massive difference compared to 5th edition. Massive.
Yeah. No, I was actually when we decided to do this first, and I was looking into it, I stumbled across a podcast of A Paladin in Hell, and I had a listen to it to be like, okay, how did it fare compared to us? Now, they have a bigger group, but they're also playing 5th edition. And they're walking through it. It's a walk in the park, like. It's not difficult in the least. There's no tension in there. It's just like, it's...
There were sessions there where we just wanted to walk away and we were getting angry with each other and fucking everything else. Like,
yeah.
Like, it was such a grind.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as I said, it took us a year to play this game. But yeah,
it took us more.
But I think
it took us a year to get us to the church.
No, it took us a year to finish the game. We done it in a year. Yeah, maybe a little under a year, but it was a year for it at least anyway. Yeah. But that's like 4-hour session once a week. Like.
So there was less time passed in the actual adventure than it was in real life.
It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know. I would run this adventure so quickly.
Oh, you think you would, but like the amount of combat in it.
Yeah. This is the thing. This is what I'm saying to you about calling demons. Being able to summon demons. The only thing it does is make a game go on for a year. it adds 9
Yeah.
months to a game. Like, it's
Like
fucking pointless.
I understand like calling a demon and then that's it, like it's over and done
Yeah.
with. But calling a demon who can call demons, like
Look, calling 3d6 worth of demons to make a fight last 20 hours is...
you have to use the loaf, you know.
It's, yeah. I mean, look, the other thing is, and it's not written in this adventure at all, it's written in other things, is like when a demon calls a demon, the demon owes that demon a favor. So demons don't really want to call other demons. So even though it is calling it, you know. But the other thing is, and it does point out in it, that there are some demons in here who have been called, you know? So that's why certain demons can't summon more demons, because they already have those demons here in the place, which could be easily overlooked. You could easily overlook that. You could easily not even see. You're just like looking at the stats in the middle of a fight going, I'm going to roll and there's going to be a bunch more demons in here, when in fact there shouldn't be, because they're already somewhere else in the...
Just because I want more. I want this fight to last the entire session because I didn't read the rest of the adventure.
Like, you're not building tension in a fight by dragging it out for 2 weeks. It's just very easy to do.
Look,
like.
it's a case for me where if you do plan on running this adventure
Yeah.
in second edition and you haven't read all the adventure or you forget it, like me and Ian, you know, we still read over this. By all means, throw in a couple of summons to extend the session to the point where, right, we're going to leave it there and we pick it up next week, and then just stop calling them in and just carry on as normal and run through a couple
pick
of
your
rooms
points
and
where
then
you're going to
just pop
call them
out,
in.
like.
I think, yeah. You know, like,
You
obviously,
know,
don't make, like, this shouldn't be a walk in the park. You should not be walking from...
oh, heck no. No.
Like, you know, there are some places where, you know, you look at a level
Like,
and
in
there's like
fairness,
two
I
main...
do believe if, like, the pinnacle of the fight was meant to be the boss dude.
Yeah.
And then you have the council.
Yeah.
Well, we ran through that.
But I could also see, like, if you look
You
at
know.
it, there's maybe 4 encounters per level, okay? You know, I mean, like, on this level here, we've got Garion, the head guy, we've got his council, and then we've got, in the other parts, the prisoners. Okay, so yeah. Guys, just a big reveal. There's a little prison there with a bunch of guys in that, okay? So that's 3 encounters. But they're going to call in more guys and add more encounters to it. And that should be run pretty quickly, like. But you could see with some DMs, they're like, okay, this isn't, you know, it doesn't feel like there's enough encounters in here. I'm going to put more encounters in. But then maybe you're forgetting that the players are also on the time limit. You got 30 fucking rounds, like, you know.
So, like, just on the
So
prison
you're under
there,
pressure anyway.
The actual guy mentioned the prison there.
Yeah.
I actually found the encounter with the guy who ran the prison tougher than the council.
Do you know why? I think I was looking at some of this and some of the other encounters. There's tactics involved. In that council room, it just tells you this is the guys, this is what they might do. But in the other rooms, with some of the other encounters, it's a fucking tactic. Like, there's tactics laid out of what they're going to do. Like, in the prison, I think it's like you walk into the certain area, it drops a gate behind you. Then the demons teleport in behind some walls and, you know, they shoot out. So there's built-in... you don't have to think. The tactics are already there, like, for you, laid out.
Yeah.
And that also drags a fight out. And it deals damage to the players. You know, you're definitely getting damage at a certain point because you can't get to the enemy quick enough, like. The main thing is not fighting, it's getting, how do I get to this guy quick enough? You know, how do, you know, so you're more under pressure.
But I also think,
get to him.
Like, in the prison is one of the coolest and worst magical items in the entire thing. So your man was deformed and he had the arm made and it was like a frostband sword and a ring of protection, but as soon as you took it off him, it was useless.
It's gone, yeah. Oh, the weapon, the frostbrand, isn't it?
No, it was his arm. So the blade used to slide in and out.
Like but it's a frostband sword that's in his fucking...
And he had it was like a ring of protection, and all of a sudden you took the arm off him and you thought you were going to get this cool item that you could fucking bring off, and no.
See, I would just say that works. I would just say, look, it's a magical fucking item. It's going to keep its magical properties. If you want to use that as a weapon, you can use it as a weapon. Like,
But you have
okay,
to lose
yeah,
your arm.
okay, no, but like, let's say you just don't have proficiency in it. You know?
I know. I was saying, like, if you wanted to attach it to yourself, you do, but you have to lose an arm.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, you'd have to get someone to do that for you as well, like.
Yeah, and
You
your
know?
alignment might change.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you've gone a bit fucking. You want to chop your arm off? You're definitely going chaotic, like.
Yeah. So I would have thrown that in there, like, but yeah, I found that room was a little bit tougher
I
than the
actually
council.
remember that, but yeah, that was like because the guys were in behind stuff shooting fucking bolts or something, and then it was
And
this
then you
guy,
had to
so
have
like
was there a save every time?
I think there
No,
could have
that
been.
was when you got to the end of the room. There was a save. There was a nasty save down at the end of the room. When you went into there was a frost room there.
Oh
When
yes,
you
there's a
went down to
pit
the end
down
of it.
there. There's a pit with
Yeah,
boss
yeah, yeah,
45s, 545, 5d4s.
yeah.
I think
But
I
you got
need more
petrified
beer.
or something like that as well. Or you got stunned or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, but again, it's not a boss fight, but it's an
no,
interesting
but it's a
encounter.
it's a dangerous little thing because you're
Yeah,
just after finishing two fights. As you said, we weren't resting. We had a ton of healing, but I think it was around this point where we were running out. Because the cleric was just popping heals left, right, and center, and he was saying
yeah,
Stone Skins was running out, Haze was running out. We were running over a lot of things, and then you had this fight where you had just run out of some of the basics,
yeah,
and then you hadn't even got to the temple yet. Like, so
yeah, yeah.
this fight
True.
was a little bit harder for me than most. Like,
Yeah, it was a lot different than standing in there with a boss. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, you think you're fighting guys who are lesser than a boss, but you're still taking the same amount of damage.
yeah,
You know, you're still taking the
and
same
he
amount of
was
damage
nasty with his
because of
damage.
tactics. Like, I think this whole level kind of gives you like three different types of fights. You know, one is the boss. That's a toe to toe. You know, you're not going anywhere. You're in a fucking
No,
ten
you
foot
had to
square with
get in
this
there.
guy.
We were lucky. We were very lucky in the sense that it was like I think the cleric had gone toe to toe for one or two rounds, had stepped back and then just started healing the fighter and the paladin
Yeah, yeah,
constantly.
yeah. And I mean,
And everything else was being distracted by the other guys in the group. Like I had Dracolisk, you had your big little worm or your grub,
dirty slugs.
you know. And I think that just left one other creature, and I can't remember who took them on. To
No,
be
I don't
honest
think
with
there
you,
was another creature in there. I think it's just the two inside it.
no,
I
there
think
was
it's just a
three.
slug and the dragalisk.
No, there was definitely three inside it.
Let me check because I'd love to know what's there. Yeah, no, just giant slug and the basilisk and your man as well. That's what the tree were. No, what the other thing is in there is the statue is the things holding the mirrors are statues of Balors or whatever the fuck they're called. Piffins. Yeah, so need the two. Yeah, but no, we did fight three things in total in here. The Gary and the head guy and the other two things. Yeah, but the other like the council then is just it's a little mix, it's a bit more lighthearted. Things dropped a bit quicker, but there was more magic being cast. And things we could damage with magic in there. And then this fight
Yeah,
which
that
was more
that was
tactical.
that was still my favorite room because it was probably the only room where my character at the time as a spellcaster got a bit of gear that could
Yeah.
actually help him out throughout the arc.
Yeah.
Except for that, like I was not proficient in that two-handed sword whatsoever, but I just loved that.
I think that's when
It
you
went,
did. Was
it
that
went with
when you
me
picked up that sword?
everywhere.
Was that when you decided like I'm going fighter, or were you
I'm
going
gonna,
fighter
yeah, I'm going to
beforehand?
fight her
Yeah,
just so I can use all this stuff.
yeah.
Well, no, I decided to go like fight her a little bit earlier in the game because there was one or two things happening, but
Yeah.
it was like when I picked up that sword and I realized, yeah, I like that. I like going around smashing things with like two-handed
Mm.
swords. I was like, I'll go fire.
Yeah, see, there was
Definitely.
no reason in me ever multi-classing because I would have never hit I would have never hit 20th level where I could use the two things. So it was I just went, look, I'm running the thief. Oh, I'm 20th level. Sweet, cool.
Yeah.
I never ran a 20th level thief before. Took me so long filling in all the numbers. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, like that level, like that's pretty much that level. Like after that fight, I think we got a bit of magical stuff out of it, and your man's team
Yeah,
was a
no,
bit of a
there was
letdown.
a
It was
couple of
plus
bit of
five
like,
ring.
it's, from the Medusa alone,
Yeah,
there was a ring of Spellstorm in there.
yeah,
And then you had the sword, which was the
yeah.
main thing for me. And I think from somebody else, there was like I think there was like braces of armor or something like that. But I ended up
Fair
robbing
enough.
from them as well. Like,
So I am gonna open up a beer here by Pyrene Brew. I've already had one of these guys already, haven't I? Pyrene. Yeah, I like the Pyrenees because they're probably up that way. Actually, they're probably up north by the Pyrenees. I'd say so because there's fucking mountains here in the can. Pyrene Brewing Company. I've never had these guys before. Actually, this is my second can from them now. I've only drank these guys tonight. This is a no pastry Imperial Stout. Joe, what's a no pastry Imperial Stout?
obviously, they haven't thrown Danish into it.
Huh? No Danish.
Pastries. Danish.
Oh,
Danish
Danish
pastry.
pastries. Okay, alright. I'm just dumb today. Yeah. I just got it because I like a pastry Imperial Stout. I like a good pastry stout, like, they're nice. But this says no pastry, so I have no fucking idea what it is. So I just decided to get it because the can is kind of cool. It's called Control Alcohol Pour Seguridid. So for your safety, control alcohol.
I didn't see a thing of that, man.
Oh,
You're all
sorry.
over the place.
There you go.
I'm
Hold
so
on.
happy you don't have a fucking driver's license with the way you're fucking throwing that can around.
Dude, even if I was sober, yeah, look, I just can't. I don't have attention span to drive. Okay. Yeah. So look, this
Fair shout.
this is 14%. Okay. This is more than the last one.
Dude, that's
the
like a
last time.
dinner when it comes to drinking. Like,
And
you know what I mean?
have
Like,
a pint glass and I have a fucking large can of this. And I tell you, I really appreciate these because this is 14%, all right, and it cost probably €7 for that can. Like, you can't go wrong. That's for you ladies out there who are listening. That's a very strong bottle of wine, okay? Okay, for €7. It's a half bottle of wine, but it's a very strong half bottle of wine. Actually, no. What's in this? How many centiliters are in these cans?
centiliters.
Milliliters.
We're not measuring your micro dick, buddy. Get over yourself.
Oh my god, you're so dumb. Liters are not like a measurement of length. Anyway, if I had 440 milliliters, I think I'd be doing good. Okay.
Maybe you should put that can away, buddy. Maybe you should go for something a little weaker.
Oh, me pencil here.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so oh, that's nice. All right, just had to sniff out the can there. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice heavy drink now. It's gonna be a lot. Hopefully, it's gonna be as tasty as fuck. Like, so one thing about this, like when I get up into this percentage, when I start tasting the alcohol before I taste a flavor.
Yeah, when you get that heat. Yeah,
it's not good. Like.
You're at nothing.
So in some of the beers now, it's good. Well, not that it's good, but it helps with the flavor. Sometimes it just, if it's mixed nice, just let it breathe a little bit because. Okay, it's an Imperial Stout, all right. Hey, looking at the can that you showed me earlier on with that Christmas pudding on it, this actually has a hint of Christmas pudding on it.
Well, you know what? I was thinking to myself, is the next beer I'm going to have Christmas here or not? And I don't believe it is. I believe it's a beer you could have with a Sunday dinner. In my mind, it's called a sticky toffee pudding.
Wait, so, like you're gonna have a good bit of fucking roast with a sticky toffee. They're the kind of beers I like now.
We're gonna go with this, and it's from Vacation again. Oh, we're on a bit of a vacation bud this evening because my local off license decided to get a few of them in. Man, I can smell this already.
Yeah, is the toffee off of the caramel in it, or is it the alcohol coming off it?
It's not the alcohol.
No,
I'm going to be honest with you. This puppy's only 5.8.
Oh, so there's a nice, good aroma coming off it, like.
So I'm expecting a nice, sweet, roasty beer. Oh,
good,
straight away, it's just nothing but sweetness.
Oh, nice.
It smells like diabetes from a can.
Oh, give me that can.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Don't have a stroke there now, yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's not really a sticky toffee pudding flavor, but I can see what you're going for.
Do you think
the roasted malt is still coming through on that? Yeah. Even on the nose, it's well nice. Juicy.
Yeah, I got to let this sit for a little bit and just let the alcohol kind of come out of it. But it's very they should have just put a crisp cinnamon on it. It's like a cinnamony, Christmassy flavor in this stout.
But it's no pastry.
It's no pastry, whatever the fuck that means. Is a pudding pastry or not pastry?
No, a pudding wouldn't be pastry. I wouldn't count a pudding
Not a
as
black
a pastry.
pudding.
No, I mean like a pudding, like a Christmas pudding.
For the people who are not in Ireland and England, Google a fucking Christmas pudding. I'm not explaining.
It's like a Christmas cake, except it's in a pudding format.
Except you're cooking a fucking
There's
bowl.
no marzipan draped on it, like, you know. But it's not a pudding, you know. I wouldn't call it a pudding. It's a sponge, you know. I wouldn't even say a sponge. Like,
This is the thing. Like, this is the thing that I really like about Imperial Stouts and the new kind of porters and stuff. Is like pick
man, that is dangerous.
Yeah. Pick a dangerous flavor that someone's just going to go, a tasty flavor.
No, you'd horse a few pints of that into you without realizing.
Yeah, I think like if the flavor is very rich, it slows you down drinking it as well. Though you're going to sip on it if it's a very rich flavor.
I think an awful lot of time with stouts, once you put your roasted malt in there, depending on the levels of roasted malt, if you go with a high roasted malt, you're going to slow down the drinking on it. And then if you put something like a rye malt on it, or a car tree or something like that, you're going to slow it down another way. Because your base malt is just there to give you the alcohol, and then the other malt is there to give you the flavour. So if you throw like a lot of chocolate malt in there with a lot of roast malt, you're going to get a really deep, sweet, roasty flavour that's just banging the chocolate. So you're just going to slow everything down. You're not going to chug it into you. But then all of a sudden you come across these crazy lads who do exactly the same thing. They throw an awful lot of roasted, throw an awful lot of chocolate, and then they throw an awful lot of lactose in it, and they turn it into a milkshake stout.
Yeah, I've had a few. They're hard to get over here.
And all of a sudden you're just taking mouthfuls of beer, and I mean like really big mouthfuls. That's like maybe anywhere between like 8 and
it's one of the things that I find, like when you get that kind of a milkshakey stout, you could drink that during the summer, no fucking problem.
Oh yeah,
you can have a pint of that in the summer. Boom, gone, lovely. You know, and summer's not a time for this sort of stuff. But when it comes to the sweeter stouts, it's so easier. It's so easy drinking. Like,
yeah, I like a good oatmeal stout during the summer.
Yeah.
An oatmeal stout is nice.
Yeah.
Milkshake stout, I've come across a few. I've made more than I've bought. So like, it's very easy to do it. Like, you know, but normally what I do with mine is, excuse me, I throw it on a bit of nitro. So I have a nitro milkshake stout.
So you put the NOS into it, is it? You get that and it goes.
Yeah. For the first year I was done it, I thought it was really cool. Like, you know, the second year I done it, I was sitting out in the garden drinking it, going, man, this is dirt. I should have just put more gas.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Oh, you're throwing it into it. Well, the more gas you have, the less quicker I'll drink it. Like, if it's really gassy,
I'm just saying, but you've seen me now drinking a pint of gassy stuff. It's not going down. Well, it is.
It's not pretty,
but it's coming back up.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty. There's been days when I've been out with Ian and he'd be drinking, and I think he's having a seizure while he's drinking that beer.
That's just me trying to.
Just looks like a goldfish on a carpet. Before this heavy ABV gets into you, we may carry on here another bit. Now, just for everybody listening at the moment, just by going by the way we're going, we will be having a part 3. So we'll probably carry this up to the temple and
get through this pretty quickly. Yeah. All right, so look, level 4. We came down into level 4 somehow. There's only one encounter here. Am I right?
One notable encounter, yeah. And that was the Guardian.
It's a good encounter. I remember this encounter. It's a good encounter. If the DM runs it right, and I think our DM is a very tactical DM. That's why it took us forever, because each fight was...
Everything was tactical.
Back and forward. And when a fight is well laid out like that, if it gets too slow, sometimes it can slow down people who think quick, you know? And that's where you're going to mess up as a player. Where the DM has a bit more time to think, he's not being pushed. So that's the thing, I think, as a DM and as a player, you need to be able to juggle that in amongst everything. I mean, and it depends on the amount of players you have. Like, I found... When we started this game off, we had a lot of players, but they dwindled off as we got through it, like, and people changed, including yourself, changed in, like, and it got quicker. It honestly got, like, from this point, from level 3 on, it got quicker.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like 100%.
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah. But, so the guards down in this place are pretty good. Lads, I need to fart. Thank God I'm not drinking Heineken. It's like Heineken is like
Heineken?
Heineken mixed with cyanide.
You wouldn't fart on that. You'd spill your guts out.
Or like cider and Heineken. Ugh, that's a mess. Could you brew us up something? Yeah, brew me up something like that, Jay.
Brew you up some Heineken. I'll brew you up some fruit beer.
Yeah. Destroy me. Fucking ruin my intestines.
Clean you out. It'd be grand.
So what were we saying? Oh yeah. Okay, so these guys, what were the fucking barbazoos in the back room?
Barbazoos.
And the bone fucking, they are the bone guys, aren't they? I don't know, I keep getting them all mixed up.
I think that's like after that, like, you know, once you're going through like the 4 levels, the siege, it's
and then I remember it took us a while to even get the door. I think we were more excited that we found the doors in this place. We're like, yay! Well, actually, no, we came down here and there was nothing in here. You know, there's the big wall. There was a big secret door to get out.
Before that, getting down to the going through the gatekeeper and things like that, and then getting to the main gates, and all of a sudden realizing that, oh my god, you know, we found the doors to the temple. Yay!
No, but
I think like we thought that was going to be it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know there's a lot of like apprehension. I know the lead up to it, the corridor that leads up to it, that's full of bodies. I really thought it was kind of like, you know, there's like death everywhere. You know, you can see the doors to the temple, but there's just fucking bodies strewn all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, chopped up guts, maggots. Like maggots are fucking climbing all over them. There's just a smell of disease and disgust in the air. And
like, I think there was an awful lot of those rock grubs and hell grubs and getting to the place, and then we got past all them, and then you had this.
I think the rock grubs were really cool. The anticipation of
getting there was the highlight of the night.
Yeah,
you know.
But I remember that secret door, just even trying to like, there's a secret door there, but how do we open it? And then getting out and seeing all this and getting to the temple was sort of like, wow, like we're finally at the fucking temple. And thank God nobody was a scummy person who, savage, you know, decided, hey, I'm going to start searching these dead bodies. As you mentioned with the rock grubs. Death in 1d3 rounds. Death. I remember reading these things in DMG, the Monsters Manual, years ago. And I even hear people on fucking YouTube complaining about them. They have monsters in 2nd edition that will kill you if you touch them. There's no save. You know, I think there is a save maybe. Fail it, you're dead in a round or two. You can't get it. Goes to your heart or whatever. And the fucking merge. You know what? Tough fucking luck. Yeah? Tough luck. That's what the creature does.
You know, there was way worse than that in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, I think they were handy enough.
No, I mean, we didn't touch any of them. We weren't... Look, if you're a scummy character who's going around robbing dead bodies, you deserve it. Okay.
So basically, what I said was your percentage chance equal to the victim's AC without shield to burrow into the body and slay in 1d3 rounds.
Yeah.
So basically, your save was your AC.
And you know what? That's pretty good.
In a percentage.
Because the shittier your armor class, the more of a chance you have of getting them.
Well, no, like for me in that case, like if you were like minus fucking 10, like
why am I rolling? Yeah. But the thing is, like, that's another thing. Like a rock grub could easily climb through armor. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like if you have, you have like big elbow things and big pauldrons. Like you could be scooping those things up without even knowing them.
Like for me, these things did have an AC. So like so the rock grubs were AC 9 and 1 hit point. So let's just be honest here, right? If something is burrowing into you and you've leather armor, you can fucking hit a punch.
Yeah. But even if, as you're saying, like, if you're wearing metal armor, it's got 1 hit point and it's climbing in a joint on your fucking elbow or your knee, and you close that and it's squash. It's squash.
Yeah. Like, there's ways around it. Like, there is ways. If you have an agreeable DM, there's ways around it.
Well, no, look, even if you don't have an agreeable DM and you want to, like, back yourselves up, if you read the DMG and it goes into taking damage, anything that causes any bit of physical, a scratch is 1 point of damage. Minimum 1 point of damage. So that thing is dead, like, If it takes it's dead. It's dead. There's no, if it's got 1 hit point.
Well, it has an AC, so you still have to roll to hit him.
Well, I mean, there's certain things that you shouldn't have to roll to hit, like.
No. If it has an AC, you have to roll to hit.
I don't know. I think if there's a giant boulder and you're standing underneath it, why should I bother?
Because you're dead.
So
You wouldn't. What they want
I
to
mean,
do
like,
is roll your AC to
what's your foot to a
avoid
rock
getting
rub?
killed by that boulder, is it? Oh no, I'm dead.
It's like, what's your armor class percentage? Now I'm going to.
Yeah.
I got minus
Imagine having
200%.
like as we said, AC -10, so your armor class percentage -10. Fuck you, I'm dead. All the bugs are eating me.
Yeah, I just roll around in them. They can never get me.
Yeah, the bugs are like, oh my god, I found somebody with a -10 AC. Let's all get him.
Send your paladin in to search everybody.
Yeah, just get that fighter with these 3-2 attacks. Just kill these grubs for you there. But yeah,
Just the fighter going and go, what? Oh, I killed 3 of them.
taking chunks off you. Taking absolute chunks off you. So you killed all 3 grubs, but you got 45 damage. Oh man, I only had 32 hit points. I'm dead.
You murdered me.
But that's the way it is.
Right.
I think we'll leave it at that point.
Yeah, I think we can start back up here on the next episode.
At the Temple of Nod.
So we have the temple, and I think what we can do then in the next one is like there's a couple of levels and stuff to go through in the next one, and then maybe we can go through everything else that needs to be gone through, the effects of being in hell, spells that will be cancelled out, your god effect, and all that sort of stuff. Because I mean, like, this module covers all that. Or, I don't know what you wouldn't call this a mod. Would you call this a module?
No, I wouldn't call it a module.
No, because it's not part. It's one thing. Like, it's an adventure. Yeah. Very well.
So just before we do call it quits tonight, I do have a question that came in here already for you.
Oh, okay.
The question is...
Another one. Hold on, JT. I need to find me D20.
It's not a D20 question. It's a yes or no one tonight, and I do afraid. Sorry. It's Ian Dirk Dingler here, just wondering if it's true that you once arm wrestled a one-eyed panda for a Yorkie bar in the 80s.
Definitely not. Pandas are endangered species, and I was a kid in the 80s, so no, I definitely was never put into an octagon to fight a panda. No, never happened.
Nobody said fight, it was arm wrestling.
Well, arm wrestling,
for
fighting.
A Yorkie bar.
I'm sorry, I can't confirm or deny that. But if you watch Kickboxer 3 with Jean-Claude Van Damme...
You're training the panda in the background.
That was definitely based on my life.
In the very background, you can see Ian training a panda to arm wrestle.
And the best...
You're a mess. That's what you are. You're not the best, you're a mess. He's a mess around.
JT, you want to know why pandas are endangered species?
Because they're pissed off Chuck Norris.
Fuck Chuck Norris.
Dude, so not cool, Ian. So not cool.
Okay, we're getting cancelled. Chuck is going to cancel us personally.
No, he's just going to cancel you. I defended him. You're on your own on this one, buddy. 30 years of friendship means nothing against Chuck Norris.
Sorry, Chuck.
You know, Chuck Norris took 2 days off of school. I mean, they'll call them Saturday and Sunday.
Right, okay. Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Dude, I love that, man.
That's just the beard, Jay. You just have beard envy, that's all. If you could wear cowboy boots like he does.
The hat.
Yeah, it's the hat. It is, isn't it?
The fact he can do a high kick in Wranglers.
Dude, he definitely has no testicles. I tried a high kick in Wranglers once. I ended up in hospital.
You didn't end up in a hospital. You just talked like this for 2 weeks.
My genes absorbed my testicles.
Scotty beamed them up. That was the end of that. They were just there like...
Hey, Kirk.
You heard the Android
to beam out.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh my god. Right, that's me done. Thank you very much.
Let's go home, will you? Stop fucking listening to us.
Have a good night.
Chuck Norris's roundhouse kick is so legendary that it has completely destroyed a Spear of Annihilation. You 2 idiots are on your own on this one. This podcast was presented by Ian and JT, edited by Matthew, with music by Kevin MacLeod. And remember, folks, stay mighty, my friends, never split the group, and don't forget to drink responsibly.